All right, guys, welcome back. For my first video here for the new year, I'm over at the other farm again. I want to talk about this, the other side of this barn. I did a video on the front part, and now I figured I would show you the back. This was the addition that my grandfather had put on, so let's get into it here. All right, that's better. I can't stand in the sun. I can't see the screen. But anyway, this is the addition to the barn. You guys that have been following me, you know that I was saying most dairy barn expansions, when you're using a bank barn, they go out that way. My grandfather decided to run this barn into the bank barn. Couple of good things it did, like I'd said in one of the videos past, it did beef up the wall here. Let me just walk around to this side here, trying to get all this in the frame. Don't mind the weeds. There's stuff all buried in here we have to get out, but you see there's a cement block wall there that was built to support the bank barn. So this was the addition. It's a cement block construction, of course the cement floor inside. The roof and the front here, this is the north face, is aluminum. It's the aluminum roof. There is a vent on top, and that vent has a chain hooked to flappers that you can open or close it as needed. I just have it propped open there. It does have the lightning protection, and this is kind of the rougher side of the barn. You don't see this side very much. Like I said, my granddad was in the Navy. The story from my grandmother was when he got out of the Navy, he decided he wanted to modernize the farm here and milk cows. So this barn addition was a lot of his savings from his time in the Navy, the U.S. Navy, of course. He had fans. These were the fans that were installed. I have them bungeed shut because the wind blows these. It gets under here and these louvers blow up, and they've been bent already. So I just have them bungeed shut to keep the wind out. But these fans do work yet. They're a Unico brand. They're on a circuit in there, and to this day you can make them work. Now the door here was a little bit different. Back in the when they were milking cows, this was a garage door, an overhead door, but it was wood and had rotted out, so it was removed. And for many years there was no door on this end of the barn. This door here now is something I built. It's a sliding door. You can see the track up there. I built put the sliding door track. I built a little bit of a frame and some flashing to keep the rain out. It kind of keeps the rain out. It's not the best, but it works. So it's just a basic door that I built. I put the trim on, pressure treated trim to match what I did on the top side of the barn, and some tin. So that way at least you can keep the door closed. It is insulated. There is blown in insulation up top in the top. It is an asbestos ceiling. It's been painted so many times it's not really an issue. This used to be a window, and it was a window, but it was knocked out the bottom where that tin is, and it was actually going to be turned into a door. I had turned it back into a window. I basically framed in a piece here with some tin, and I built these windows on this barn out of pressure treated lumber and plexiglass. I had to use plexiglass because the birds break all the glass windows, so now when they fly into it they pretty well bounce off. So I made these window frames and put it back so it would be sealed up. The reason I was doing that, I had a shop in here. I'm not going to show you guys the inside. I've already done videos on the inside. I installed this little crock here that I call it for the stovepipe, to get a stovepipe out through here for heat. Like I say, it's all cement block with a cement floor and an asbestos ceiling. It made sense to put in I had one of those 55-gallon drum barrel heaters, the 2-tier that you could burn wood for heat. Had the chimney up through here. This I had to put through the wall. Basically I just took a masonry bit. I traced this, took a little masonry bit and perforated it, hammer and a chisel, was able to slide this in and then mortar around it. It's a while ago since I did that, but had a source for heat in there. Excuse me. So this addition here. It wasn't the biggest. I don't know. I forget how many cows were in here. The stalls have been removed in the 90s. Some of the other work you can see here, I did these. I built these window frames out of wood. This is all pressure treated plexiglass. There's little chains here that I put on. You could tip these windows in just like the originals. I had one here for a pattern. This is the original aluminum one. All these windows were removed in the 90s and basically just had plastic put on. So I was able to seal it up with windows that I had made. Some of the other work that I did, you'll see a rain gutter here. There was no rain spouting on here. I put this rain gutter on and the little bit of the snow guards. It still needs some more, but this needed rain gutter because all the water would come off the roof and run into the barn here and flood the gutters. So it was just a problem of the rain spouting not being on. So that was another thing I did. I had to caulk all the re-nail and caulk the roof because it was leaking pretty bad. I made this door here, this entry door, and put that on. But it was sometime in the 90s. All the stalls were removed and a flat cement floor was poured in here. So you can't really see the remnants of the dairy stalls unless you're in the back. But just give you a sense of what it looks like here. Then of course up top you have the bank barn. Anytime I baled hay or straw here, I had the elevator into that door, and anytime somebody came to get straw or hay, it was nice. You could back right under that door and throw it down and load their truck. Real nice system of unloading hay. This side has a shingle roof yet. You guys remember the other video, I put the tin roof on, and this side's gonna need it as well. This is starting to leak. We're gonna have to do something here eventually. You'll see there's 3 vents up there in the roof, and of course the lightning rods. So let me show you the milk house part of this addition. All right, so this was like a lean-to add-on to the barn my grandfather had put on. You'll see how the whole barn is now supported by this cement block wall to help extend the life to take a lot of the weight. Like I say, a cement block milk house. My granddad did not have a milk house here other than that tire shed. You guys saw that video. So this was the milk house. There was no milk tank in here. They had used an International Harvester milk can cooler. And he had still, even in 67, 68, he was still baling the milk in milk cans to the dairy. So that was how they used to do it. See, it's all cement block construction. There are floor drains in there where the sink are that still work. There is a well in this barn that is still functioning. Out there, that's a little bit of an addition to the milk house that I had built to put my grain head in. But and this horse here was actually saved from the bank barn. It used to be on the wall. This was all recessed. You could walk under here. And then the wall and the doors were in further. This was part of the barn. Excuse me, and they saved this. And this location, there used to be a window here that was bad shape and tore out. So I framed it in and basically put this horse right back where it used to be on the original barn. So it needs to be, I repainted it too. It looks like it needs some paint again. It's really... really starting to go backwards, but I did paint it again since I put it up there. So yeah, and there's the hay door. It was nice. The other side, let me walk over there. All right, you guys saw my video on this. This was going to be the combine storage area. I did a video on that. I don't need to recover it. You'll see there's a window there, but there through that door is the granary, and that's where the grain was stored in the granary. And in 2007, 8, 9, 10, all them years, I had stored rye in that granary, just like they did years ago. I had a little, I think it was a Cardinal elevator, 16 foot or so, that I had rigged up a pulley system to lift it up there, and like a chute to get it into the individual bays of the granary, and I could back my International Lodestar truck right up to it in here. This wasn't overgrown at that time. There is stone under here, and I was able to unload the rye into this elevator up into the granary and store it up into there. I wish I could show you guys the granary, but it's so dark in there. I'd have to do something with the lighting, maybe a bunch of flashlights someday. We have time here on YouTube to do videos, but anyway, so that was the granary. There's a door that comes out there from the barn. So yeah, just wanted to do a overview, kind of a quick. This side, you'll notice I didn't get to the windows. I didn't get to build all those yet. I just had plastic over them. You see there's screens right now, and then I just doubled up thick plastic, and needs new plastic. So, and of course, I had said out here was where the trench silo was. They used this wall and then the dirt embankment here, and they would pack sorghum is actually what he used to green chop and put in this trench. My grandmother had told me that years ago my granddad had the harvest store silo representative out, and they were measuring to figure out where they could put a harvest store silo here. So if he hadn't gotten sick with cancer, I'm sure he would have been keeping up with the times and doing what he had to do to still make a profit. But like I said, when he was diagnosed and just getting sicker and sicker, there's no point in expanding too much. So this was kind of as far as it got. I'd said that every generation has that one relative that has made the biggest strides in an operation, and for this place it was definitely my grandfather. So yeah, it's kind of all weeds here now. There's lumber in here with nails, and there's a piece of railroad track. There's well casing. We just have to clean it all up again. This was all clean. There's some trees that got to get cut down. This was all open at one time around the barn here. So it is very swampy here and muddy. It's kind of a mess. The pasture, you could pasture what I was talking about. Pasturing cows here. There's 2 acres there you could pasture. This used to be pasture. It got overgrown. Over there's some pasture area, but it is muddy. It's kind of a mess down in the bottom here. So let's see what else. All right, just a quick note, it will be a future video. I do want to do the video on this shed over here. It was kind of an equipment storage shed, but the original sawmill, the sawmill that they used to saw lumber, was actually a lean-to on the back side of that shed, and it's not there anymore. It hasn't been for years. You look down in the pasture there in the meadow. I don't know if you can see those concrete pipes there. Those are concrete pipes, but the major creek used to flow through those pipes, which was what gave them the hydropower to run a sawmill. It was diverted. That creek was diverted back, would have had to been 40s, 50s, somewhere in there if I had to guess. I don't know 100% sure. So yeah, this was all pasture. There was a creek bed down in there. This was all open, and all the pictures from the 60s, this all got grown up. And the main reason it got grown up was you can't really mow it, and it's kind of a swampland, so it's always wet, so there's nothing really that can grow there. Dad's got his firewood processing here. So anyway, like I say, this was the barn built in 1961. They milked cows here till about 68, 69, 70. From the 70s, they just had a couple steers. Then it sat from the 70s, late 70s through the 80s. The 90s, some work was done on it, and basically late 90s, I was getting into farming and then started making repairs, and late 2000s, late 2000s, 2013, 14, I moved out of here and over to the other place. So it's kind of the history. It's just kind of what happened with our family, and but the barn's still here. This side, I did paint this. It used to always be painted with masonry paint. This side, just, I don't know why the paint will not stick to that cement block on the north side here. I think the water is washing it off from that aluminum, but I paint it about every 5 years. So there it is. It's a pretty nice barn, nice setup they had. I just didn't agree with how he went about doing it with the addition coming out this way. Didn't really maximize the space, but again, it was his decision, and it was what they could do at the time. So all right guys, I'll see you later. There'll be plenty more videos to come from this place, but I figured I would just give you guys a quick tour here. So thanks for watching. See you tomorrow.